The Fujifilm 100-400 is an incredible lens for photography, but there hasn't been enough real-world testing of this lens's video features. Well, stick around for this video because today we are on a commercial shoot with a kayak tour company, and I'm only going to be using this lens to make the video. Let's go. Got the straw hat on and we are ready to jump on this video shoot. But where are we? We're midday, hence the shadows, in beautiful Cocoa Beach, Florida. We're here with a client of ours, Coco Kayaking, and we're helping them create some content for the summer season coming up. So I get to take a break from the normal corporate type videography and photography we would shoot, and I get to kind of go on a vacation. I get to sit on the front of a kayak, get paddled around by a guide, and it's fun because I get to shoot wildlife photography and videography, which is not something I normally get to do. So the things I'm going to be focusing on for video are, number one, autofocus. How does it perform? We have it on the Fuji X-H2S camera body, and we're going to be seeing how it does with the bird subject tracking autofocus. Next, stabilization. How does this lens do with the in-body, with the lens, and when they're paired together, maybe with a little digital? We'll see what works best. And lastly, just comparing the overall thoughts and price. Normally I bring a 70-300 out here. I love that lens, but I recently dropped it in the water.
Why am I in the water? Well, I'll tell you why. I got spooked by a manatee. I knocked my camera bag over into the water.
I feel horrible, but at the same time I want to laugh.
So I either need to replace it or buy this lens. So before I did that, I rented this from Borrow Lenses to bring it on a shoot, see how I like it, and if it's worth spending almost double the price for this lens. Let's go. Fun lens to shoot with. Just first impressions real quick, it was heavy. What a solid lens. Felt really professional, really nice to use. And overall, while today was challenging shooting a video entirely on a 100-400, it was a fun day. I'm excited to see how the video turns out. So the first thing I want to talk about quickly is autofocus. Had high expectations for this lens, as I should. It's not cheap. And having it on the newer X-H2S, that camera body has great autofocus. So I had high expectations for this. Shot in a few different type of video files, shot in 6.2K, 4K, 4K 120, and just wanted to see how the autofocus performed at those different areas. And it appeared to do rather well. I used the bird subject detecting autofocus for most of the shoot today, as that's what I was shooting for. We came across some beautiful dolphins towards the end of the tour that actually, it tracked it. I don't know, a dolphin coming out of the water looks like a bird, but it tracked it as a subject, so I was glad. It looks like I got a couple shots. And I also used facial recognition for tracking some of the subjects, which were spread out on the water, but man, is 100 as a minimum focal length still pretty tight. But overall, I was really pleased with the autofocus and how it performed. There are a few times birds are difficult. When it's in the sky, it's easy to track this object, but as the bird comes down lower, as it's flying along the horizon, and then it comes out from the trees and below the trees, that's where the camera does have trouble kind of losing the subject detect, especially with birds. Overall, seemed to perform pretty well for video. Let's jump into stabilization. Now, as far as stabilization goes, it did what I needed it to do, but I'm not sure that testing it while riding on the front of a moving kayak was such a good idea. Gosh, it was hard. To have this thing all the way out at 400 and to try to track a subject while the front of the kayak, even if it's barely moving, it was a new challenge for me. Now, when we got off, I was able to come up on the dock on stable ground and handheld. I was really impressed with how steady it was. It was just being on a non-stable surface. It was really hard. And also the weight of this thing is heavy. And I think that's maybe good for some people, but for me today, it just provided some complications, with the lens all the way out, it dipping and getting heavy. But overall, I found it difficult. Let's jump into price. jump into the price and the final thoughts, comparing this especially with the 7300, is it worth it? I think in many ways it is. I think for the type of photography that I'm shooting, it's not. The 7300 is a smaller lens, it's lighter, and it does just a good enough job for what my needs are. Do I want this lens? Absolutely. Who doesn't want to have this in their kit? I've also been doing a lot of surf photography, and when you're on the shore shooting surfers out in the water, an extra 100 millimeters makes a difference, and it is nice to have. Do I want it? Yes. Will I be purchasing it? Probably not at the moment, but it doesn't mean I won't keep my eye out for it, maybe used on eBay or another platform like that. Man, with all the videos that you could be watching on the internet, the fact that you took time out of your day to watch this one, I so greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed some of the video shots that I got with this lens today, and that it was helpful for you seeing how it would perform in video, specifically in a real world setting. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up, it actually helps. Comment down below if you have any other questions about other Fuji lens that you would like to see in video specific settings. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.